Hello and welcome, viewer. Thank you for joining this live chat session. Ming Hon, John Wonder, Darto Sapora, Johannes Samere, Phil Tube, Joe Toronto, P.O. Boy Trucking, Milaku Tika, Techlo Service T, Cabriab Kidane, Isaac Ali. Topic, let's talk about today's topic, viewers. We mostly go off topic. Topic is very important. Can TDF repel this new major offensive? You have your loyalties, I know that, but keeping your loyalties aside, let's discuss this question objectively. If you want to answer this question, do it objectively with some reasons. Why do you think TDF can repel or not this offensive? Yir Galam, Abdi Muhammad, S.A. Pinto, Muhammad Yimaj, Abdi Muhammad, Amman, Venore, Malas Gide, Free Tigray, Dato Sapora. John Wonder said, no, it cannot. What's the reason? Why do you think that TDF cannot repel this new offensive? Long Walk has joined. Dato Sapora says, because ENDF has no purpose. It's a slave, a mercenary. Well, they do have a purpose. They think that TPLF is a threat to Ethiopia. That is what Ethiopian government is saying. So they do have a purpose. You might not agree with their purpose, but they do have a purpose. Ming Hon says, I personally believe that TDF can repel it because of the numbers. There are already 200,000. He is saying that since TDF is more in number, it can repel. No, it's not that TDF is more in number. In fact, according to my information, ENDF regional forces, they are much more in number than Tigray Defense Force. All regional forces, Amhara militias, Fano militias, Amhara special forces, newly recruited Oromian special forces, ENDF. No. In fact, ENDF is more in number along with other regional forces. Dato Sapora says, why doesn't ENDF fight Sudanese military and Eritrean occupying Ethiopian lands? Yes, important question. Philly says it's impossible to hold Amhara because TDF does not have the support of the local population. Yeah, in Amhara, TDF does not have the support of local population. Yes, I agree with that. It's a disadvantage for TDF in Amhara that it does not have the support of locals. At the same time, TDF can use this thing that it can take refuge in civilian areas too, because of course civilians are against them. We could see urban warfare. TDF did not afford urban warfare in Tigray, but here TDF might like urban warfare because of course it's Amhara government's responsibility to protect civilians. TDF is here a recipient. It's not. It's defending its positions in Amhara. So if locals are not with TDF in Amhara, it can go both ways. But definitely, it's a disadvantage. It's a disadvantage if locals are not backing you. They can't because of the drones. Gobish Hagdo is saying. Yes, we have been discussing about drones. Can drones be a game changer in this new offensive? We have seen the start of drone use for the last 2 days. The problem, viewers, is that According to my information, TDF is working on dual strategy to counter this drone threat. Firstly, I today received some reports that TDF is in some schools, hospitals in Amhara. So TDF units are not withdrawing from urban areas. I heard from Kon, from Vadla, from some other places that Tigray Defense Force is right inside cities. If you are inside cities, it's very difficult to hit you accurately. We don't know about the specification of ENDF drones. Can they uh, accurately hit TDF in Amhara? That remains to be seen. TDF is firstly in urban areas of Amhara where it will be difficult to carry out drone strikes. Secondly, TDF has withdrawn from some areas in Amhara towards some safe places in mountains, in forested areas. A few hours ago, I informed you about TDF withdrawal from Marsa in eastern and western directions in forested mountains, especially in western direction. So TDF is taking shelter in mountainous areas. At the same time, it's there in urban areas. How much, how effective drones could be, that remains to be seen. We don't know about the type of drones, but TDF has suffered losses in November by drones. This time they have a strategy. They don't have weapons. They don't have weapons to take drones, to take down drones. Definitely, we know that. We know that Tigray Defense Force do not have weapons, anti-drone weapons to take down drones. They have strategy. They'll go for strategy, not weapons. Strategy is to take refuge in safe places, to be mingled with locals, to remain inside urban areas in Amhara. That is what they are doing. How will ENDF counter this strategy of TDF? That we'll see in coming days. Several viewers have joined. New viewers, Murdoke, Vedi 70, Tesfe Kinfe, Michael Kahase, Herman Dout, Gabriel Michael, Johannes Samere, Naz Riving, Adam, Mibrate Birheo, one of my regular viewers, Siddhama Havasa, and Liz Elias, one of another regular viewers, Tio Ofla, Philtube. Philtube is saying, do you know how many drones and jets are? No one knows. No one knows how many drones have they purchased. I haven't heard from any expert so far about the exact number of drone, exact type as well. They are keeping it hidden. We'll get to know when they start using these drones. We'll get to know from the ammunition these drones will be using. It will take some time, maybe a few days. Then we'll be able to say which types of drones are being used. Doubt says, what does it mean to TDF if they repel this offensive? Yes, important question. What does it mean for TPLF, for TDF to repel this offensive? Because if Tigray Defense Force succeeds in repelling this offensive, believe me, then they'll advance. They'll bounce back. You'll see them advancing. You'll see them making gains. You'll see them advancing to strategic places in Ethiopia, not in Amhara, in Ethiopia. This is the most crucial phase of this war. They need to hold on to their positions in Amhara. If they can, then you will see them moving towards Dasi, towards Oromia, towards Gondar. But if they could not repel this offensive, they might withdraw towards Tigray, towards once again central Tigray. Phil, I replied to your question. No one knows about exact number of drones. Even not, no one knows about types of drones as well. We can only speculate that Turkish or Iranian drones are being used. Someone is saying on both sides, people is burning, while they're alive. This is not a joke. Yes, it's not a joke. No one is saying it's a joke. No one is saying that this war is a joke. It's a catastrophe. This war is just, it's bloodshed. It must come to an end. Firhan says, how long this war go on? This new offensive has prolonged this war. If you remember, Firhan, my videos, Tazabi, hi Tazabi. If you remember what I've been saying before Abiy took oath, I've been saying new phase is about to start. This is the time to intervene. No one listened, or people listened, they could not intervene. Whatever the reason was, the time of intervention has passed. Now a new offensive has been started, backed by newly purchased weaponry from Ethiopian government. Now this war will go on definitely for some months. Of course, ENDF cannot push TDF out of Amhara within a week. It will take time now. This war will go on. Important question, viewers, is Eritrean forces. Will they join this new offensive or not? Especially from the north, from Adigrat, from Tigray, Eritrea border areas like Badme. Will they enter Tigray from the north? If they decide to enter Tigray from the north, then we could see TDF under pressure in Amhara region. By the way, today I heard some rumors. I would say rumors. Today I heard some rumors that Eritrean forces were trying, they were planning, in fact, they were planning the advance towards Adigrat. No confirmation. That is why I have not shared that with you in a video. Just rumors. But if Eritreans decide to intervene from Adigrat side, from Badme, then we might see TDF withdraw towards Tigray from Amhara. Let's see. TPLF will be dead soon. No, I don't think so. No one is going to be dead soon. On the back of TPLF is Tigray. On the back of TPLF is millions of people of Tigray. You just cannot kill Debrecen, Gatashorida, and war will come to an end. No. This war is between Tigray and Ethiopian federal government. Amhara region is behind Amhara regional president. Tigray is behind TPLF. So war will not come to an end by killing of a few TPLF leaders. And TPLF cannot be destroyed in a few days or weeks. It's a party, a political party, representing millions of Tigrayans. Kasu says, Eritrean tried many times through Badme. No, they did not. They did not. Eritreans withdrew from Tigray during the mid of June, and they did not try to enter Tigray after that. No. We must stop killing our own brothers and sisters, FBI says. Yes, FBI. You are brothers and sisters. Amharas, Tigrayans are brothers and sisters. Oromos, Somalis, all of you are brothers and sisters. That is the spirit that must be shown by the people of Ethiopia. That is the only way to bring to an end, to bring this war to an end. That all of you are brothers and sisters. There are no differences between an Amhara and Tigrayan. No one is born brave or coward, whether he is Amhara or Tigrayan. No one has some special qualities, whether he is Tigrayan or Amhara. All of you are equal human beings, brothers, sisters, with equal capabilities, equal rights, equal responsibilities. Aaron says, Eritrea will not dare to enter Tigray. Why do you say that, Aaron? Eritreans are in western Tigray for the last 10 months. Even after the withdrawal of Ethiopian National Defense Forces from Tigray after they suffered losses, Eritreans did not withdraw from western Tigray. They are still in Humera, in Volkait, Sagede. If they can be in western Tigray, why can't they be in Adigrat? Don't say that they won't enter Tigray. They might enter at some point. But right now, no confirmation. Ming Hon, can you please write a book or articles? If I have some time, honestly, I have to work. I told you previously as well that I have to work more than 10 hours a day, 12 hours, 14 hours. I ensure that no development is missed, that I update you about every development, whether political, military, diplomatic. So it takes lots of time. Maybe after this war, I might think of writing a book. What do you think about international community Someone is asking about international community. Uh, Interestingly, viewers, US issued executive order. It said, we will impose sanctions on you, start talks, end this war. It did not impose sanctions. EU 2 days ago said, start talks. We will impose sanctions. Find a solution till the end of October. Both the EU and the US, two main players, they have given a time frame, a deadline to ENDF and Tigray that end this war till October. Before that, Ethiopian government has started a new offensive. Why? Ethiopian government believes it can push TDF out of Amhara in a few days. Then it can start talks. I told you about South Sudan's mediation. We have now confirmation that PM Abiy has agreed to Salva Kiir's mediation to resolve Tigray conflict. Why? Abiy believes, PM Abiy, that this new offensive will be over in 2 to 3 weeks. Then talks can start. That is why perhaps we have seen that the UN, the US and EU, they have given some time. But this time, which has been given by the EU and the US, it has led to the start of a new offensive from Ethiopian government, which believes it can finish TPLF in the next 2 to 3 weeks by the end of October. But it won't happen. You will see, it won't happen. Someone is asking about my shirt. Don't you like this one? Is TDF withdraw from Gondar? Gondar city, South Gondar, North Gondar? What's your question? Someone is asking about, someone is comparing this uh, war with the war in Afghanistan. How did Taliban counter drone threat in Afghanistan? Taliban did not have any anti-drone weapons. But terrain in Afghanistan is very helpful for defenders. Totally mountainous area with secret tunnels and caves. And they have been fighting in this terrain for years. It's not that they're fighting for the first time here. They fought here against Russia for years. Then there was internal war in Afghanistan. Taliban, other factions fought. Then Americans attacked. So they know the terrain, the topography very well. They made use of the terrain. They did not fight the US with the help of any anti-drone weaponry. TDF will do the same. It did the same in Tigray, that it fought on its terrain where it defended Tigray, settled Tigray to some extent. Amhara is a foreign terrain for TDF. Though here again we'll see TDF making use of terrain, as we are seeing. TDF is withdrawing towards mountainous areas, forests, and monasteries as well. TDF will do the same. It will make use of terrain here to neutralize the threat of drones. TDF does not have any sophisticated anti-drone weaponry. It can only devise a strategy to counter drone threat. How come you did not admire the courage of TDF and Tigrayan who are fighting multiple invaders? Well, I just analyze this war as a reporter. I am against this war, honestly, firstly. I am against this war. I do not want to romanticize this war. War is nothing but destruction. It's nothing but devastation. Wherever there is war, it brings devastation. Don't romanticize fighters. It breaks my heart when I see an Amhara officer being appreciated for killing dozens of TDF fighters. And same is the case on TDF side, that a TDF fighter is being presented as a hero because he killed so many Amharas. No, that's disgusting, honestly. Your heroes would be your doctors, your scientists, your children, your girls. Those would be your heroes, not the killers. Whether you kill for a cause or you defend yourself, these are not your heroes. People might not like my comments because this is atmosphere of war. But I do not back this sort of culture in which your heroes are fighters and killers. What if you're forced to engage in a war? Someone is saying, yes, if you're forced to engage, you're bound to defend. You're a defender. But don't romanticize this war. You know what's happening in Tigray? People are dying due to hunger. They don't have food to eat. They're eating leaves. Children don't have medicines there. In Amhara, in Afar, thousands displaced. There's nothing to be proud of about this war. What will happen after October? After October, there will be sanctions on Ethiopian government. There will be sanctions on Eritrean government. There will be sanctions on Tigray government as well. And after October, we could see continuation of this war. If this war goes on till the end of October, and if ENDF is unable to push TDF out of Amhara by the end of October, then this war will go on, you'll see. Does Abiy give an Ethiopian border to Sudan? What do you mean? Are you asking about Fashaga? Fashaga is under Sudanese control and no attack from Ethiopia on Fashaga. Will there be an arms embargo on Ethiopia? US has imposed arms embargo on Ethiopia. Even if other countries imposed, like the EU, they imposed arms embargo on Ethiopia, it wouldn't hurt Ethiopia because Ethiopia would be buying weapons from Russia, from China. So it wouldn't matter for Ethiopia. On what data is the projection of 108 trucks daily based on? Big Boss is saying. Well, Big Boss, yes, you might contest this number, that 100 trucks are not recorded on daily basis. But how many people are in Tigray? Millions, more than 5 million people. How much aid has reached Tigray so far? You know that crops there were burnt, harvesting season could not be properly made use of. The aid which has arrived, is it enough for the people of Tigray? There is shortage of food there, shortage of water, shortage of medicine there. And I stay in touch with some humanitarian aid workers as well. With the passage of time, I have now cultivated some sources on the ground in Ethiopia. They update me about on the ground situation. I am not taking any sides, yours, but believe me, Tigray is in need of food. And this catastrophe is gradually spreading into Amhara, into Afar. If this war goes on, you'll see the same happen in Afar, in Amhara. When fighting was going on in Tigray a few months ago, before June, no one thought it could spread into Amhara, into Afar. You saw that. It happened. Now, when humanitarian disaster is in Tigray, no one is thinking that it could happen in Amhara, in Afar. It will happen, viewers. If this war goes on, you will see humanitarian catastrophe happening in Afar and Amhara too. That is why we should call for peace. What Tigray is going through, it could happen in other parts of Ethiopia too, if this war goes on. Someone is asking about why didn't drones had any effect on central Tigray? When war was in central Tigray, I think Ethiopian government did not have very sophisticated drones. They did use some drones at the start of war in November. Then reportedly, some sources say UAE withdrew. It withdrew its drone backing. When war was going on in Central Tigray, back then ENDF did not have very advanced drones. So that is why we did not see any use of drones on Central Tigray. Tazabi is asking about, do you have any plans to host a talk show? Well, if some of you are interested, I can host a talk show. Participants will have to just assure that they do not spread any hate, they don't talk against other ethnic groups. I can host a show. People who are interested, they can contact me. We can record that on Zoom, then we can upload it here. Who do you think will fall first, Abiy, Isaias, or TPLF? Very difficult question. Who will fall first? Isaias is in full control of Eritrea. There is no opposition in Eritrea, viewers. People have fled Eritrea. Eritrean opposition is in the West, in other countries. Isaias is ruling with an iron hand. TPLF is vulnerable. Abiy is vulnerable too. No sign of Isaias falling. But TPLF and Abiy's future depend on this war. If TDF starts advancing towards Addis Ababa, Abiy could be in danger. And if we see Tigray once again taken by ENDF, we could see TPLF under pressure. So their fates are not clear. But I think Isaias is in control. He's in full control. Eritrea has no future as a country. Yeah, obviously, don't have any enviable systems, any institutions, no future as a country. But Isaias has a future there. Who is blocking the supply of aid to Tigray and why? Why? Yes. Ethiopian government is blocking and slowing down the supply of aid to Tigray. Reason is very simple, because this aid goes to TDF as well. Ethiopian government wants to ensure that aid does not reach TDF, but it's bound to reach. So when aid convoys enter Tigray, after that, though distribution is done under the supervision of aid agencies, still aid reaches Tigray Defense Force. So Ethiopian government is trying to starve TDF, not the people of Tigray. But during the course of this strategy, people of Tigray are also suffering. If you are slowing down the delivery of aid, people will suffer. Jojo says, Sajid, where do you live? I live in Pakistan. Does it matter where I live? But let me tell you one thing, that I miss what's happening in Pakistan. I do not cover Pakistani politics. I do not work on that. I am fully aware of what's happening in Ethiopia, in Eritrea, in Somalia, in Sudan. People stay in touch with me through emails, comments, calls as well. I know what's happening in this region. Don't focus on Pakistan. That's not my area of interest. I love mutton karahi, someone is saying. I love it too. How strong is TDF to repel ENDF? Yes. How strong is TDF to repel ENDF in Amhara? Well, TDF can drag this war in Amhara. I won't use the word repel. I can only say TDF can drag this war in Amhara. It has tremendous presence in Amhara in terms of numbers. It has some weaponry as well. It can make use of terrain. It can be mingled with locals. It can go for urban warfare. So TDF can drag this war in Amhara. That's my analysis. Do you study military science? That is what we are doing all the time, discussing, reading, sharing information and developments about geopolitical developments, about military science, about what's happening in military fields, strategies, counter strategies, weaponry. That is what we do all the time. In videos we share with you. Any possibility of a military coup? No possibility. We haven't seen any fissures in ENDF so far, no cracks. Someone is asking about Yugoslavia. Do you think Ethiopia can split? So far, the war has united Ethiopia. Tigray can break away. Tigray can break away. Ethiopia is united against Tigray. Ethiopia is united against Tigray. Tigray can break away. But if Tigray breaks away, after that, you'd see tensions, you see conflicts between other ethnic groups. Then other groups will call for their separate countries too. It would be dangerous for this region if a new state is formed in Ethiopia. You'll see several new states in the Horn of Africa if Ethiopia breaks up. You'll see several states in Ethiopia too. I don't see the possibility of Ethiopia's disintegration in coming days or weeks. But this war is weakening Ethiopia. If this war goes on and on, then you could see Ethiopia heading towards disintegration. I want to see free Tigray, Leol Dakiok says. At this point of time, Tigray as an independent country is not a viable option. Tigray is under siege. How can you survive with your rivals on all your sides? You won't have access to any port. You won't have any airspace. All airspace closed around you. To the east Afar, to the north Eritrea, to the west of Amhara, or to the south Amhara as well. How will you survive? Tigray needs Western Tigray. Whether Tigray wants to be independent or it wants to be part of Ethiopia, it cannot survive as a nation, as a country, or as an independent region without Western Tigray. It needs Western Tigray. Truth Prevail says, why do you get offended so easily? Yes, sometimes it happens, but the reason is because that I put in lots of hard work in my videos. I try to confirm. Yes, I make mistakes too. I don't accept any favors. I'm not being paid by anyone. The thing that disturbs me is allegations, baseless allegations. I am on the payroll of TPLF, on the payroll of PMRB. That just makes me a little down. Sometimes I react with this in this way. Otherwise, you see that comments section is It's full of hatred against me, against my ethnicity, against my way of talking, against my views. I never respond. I never block. Some viewers, they keep on sharing the same message again and again, hurling insults at me. I don't block them. I want to promote a culture of sharing your views with those whom you don't agree with. I want this platform to be a platform for a healthy exchange of ideas between different ethnic groups of Ethiopia. That is why I take your insults as well with a smiling face. I don't react mostly. Why Tigrayans hate Amharas? No, it's not that the Tigrayans hate Amharas. It's not that. Some Tigrayans hate Amharas, some Amharas hate Tigrayans because they have been misguided. Because they have been misguided by some leaders who have their vested interests. As a whole, it's not that all Tigrayans hate Amharas or all Amharas hate Tigrayans. No, it's not like that. I have seen several Tigrayans, Amharas here exchanging their views, appreciating each other. There is some small section of leaders, small section of people who are just hating each other. Majority is not hating each other, I think. Viewers, 43 minutes have passed. This is the longest live chat session so far. I think we should now end this chat session. I tried to respond to this to your questions, as many as I could. Topic was can TDF repel new ENDF offensive on Amhara? Yes, it can. It can definitely do that. I said TDF can drag this war in Amhara because TDF can make use of terrain here. It can start urban combat as well. So this war in Amhara, it's not going to end in 2, 3, 4, 5 days or 1 week. You'll see this war go on in Amhara. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this live chat session. Thank you and see you next Saturday in the next live chat session. Thank you. Bye-bye.